But I also detest the niqab and I detest the face veil. And I say this as a Muslim woman. I think it represents an ideology that does not believe in Muslim women's rights to do anything but choose to cover her face. And I find that I believe that the niqab dangerously equates piety with the disappearance of women. And so I support banning it everywhere because it's not in the Quran. It's not an obligation for a Muslim woman to cover her face. And my talk with you now, with you seeing my face, is going to be very different than if I was sitting here with my face covered. I believe the human face is central to communication. And I know from what she said before that once she started covering her face, she stopped working. So my argument is, and this is not just about I understand what the point that you were making earlier, Elliot. Feminist groups, many women's rights groups have made the point that what the niqab does in a society, especially for Muslim women, is that it creates a spectrum where that is the pinnacle of piety and that is the good Muslim woman. And so of course it affects me. In France, where this ban is going in effect, Muslim women's rights groups there support it because they find that Muslim women who live in the French housing projects have been put under tremendous pressure by the Muslim right wing to give into the niqab. And when they speak out, they are told, it's basically they become these political pawns. Yeah, that's why I said I oppose Sarkozy, but I oppose this on women because what choice do women have besides covering their face? This ideology doesn't recognize Muslim women's rights. This is, I think, where these right-wing interpretations of religion get a free pass because everybody says, well, it's my religious obligation. It's my religious right to do this. Let's look really at what we're talking about here. We're talking about the disappearance of women justified in the name of them becoming closer to God. So the closer you want to become to God, the less of you, the more you disappear. What choice does a woman have when she's told she will burn in hell if she doesn't cover every inch of her body? What kind of a choice is that? So of course these women who convert to this ideology,
I've never heard anybody say that.
The women who convert to this ideology, who are then told that this is how to be a good Muslim woman, to be close to God, to avoid hellfire, is there really a choice in that? And I believe when you have a law like this, you know, I told you I detest Sarkozy. I consider him racist, but I will not sacrifice Muslim women's rights in order to uphold the Muslim right wing, which I believe is misogynist. With a law like that, a woman can tell her husband or any male relative who is forcing her to dress like this, the law says I don't have to. I believe that this is genuinely harmful to Muslim women because it creates this pinnacle of piety in which a Muslim woman is told this is the closest you can get to God, and she's disappeared. I'm no longer here. You don't even know who I am. The face is central to communication. And not just that, it objectifies women.
But explain to me why you think the ban is a bad idea.
I think that it's a bad idea because I think it's yet another example of men telling women how to dress, how to live their life. It's another way to try to control women and to take it to a government level and to try to legislate the way that a woman dresses is not just wrong and against human rights, but it really violates the whole basis that the democracy and democratic countries are based on. This is a free choice. This is something that I choose to wear. I disagree that it's some right-wing ideology. It is something that is permitted in Islam. I have a master's degree in mechanical engineering, and I am free to do whatever I want, and this is a choice that I want to make. And just because somebody doesn't accept my interpretation of Islam or personally like it, doesn't mean that we can use laws to violate people's freedom of expression and freedom of religion.
But let me just ask you this. When you go to the airport, you understand there are going to be obligations. They're going to have to check you for security like they check all the rest. When you get a driver's license, do they take a picture with or without your veil on?
Absolutely. I want everyone to know that as a Muslim woman, as a Muslim in America, I am just as concerned about safety and security as everybody else, and I have no problem whatsoever accommodating any security issues that come about when I enter a bank, when I go to the airport, when I go to the DMV. I show my face, and actually in Islam, we are required to show our identity when we're in a court system giving testimony. This is absolutely something that is essential for the security and identification of people, but that doesn't mean that I should be banned completely from what I choose to do. Nobody has forced me to do this, and I really have to disagree with the statistics that Mona is trying to put forth, because studies have shown that there are only 2,000 women in France that wear the niqab. The majority of them are converts who converted to Islam and are voluntarily choosing to do it. This is my choice. Nobody can force me to take it off. I would not take it off even if you paid me to do it. And the fact of the matter is that I have never met a single Muslim woman in all of my travels around the world that has been being forced to wear it. I understand Mona does not like it and does not want to wear it personally, but she keeps talking about her own feelings about it, and she wants to use the law to support it. If she wants a diversity in Islamic belief, then she has to accept my version just like she wants me to accept hers. Basically, I want people to know that when I choose to cover this way, it's because I am fighting against a systematic oppression against women in which women's bodies are being sexualized and objectified. This is a different perspective and a different form of empowerment in which I think when I'm in public, my sexuality is in my control, and people have to deal with my brain and who I really am and not judge me by my body. And if we want to really talk about the oppressive situation of women, let's talk about all of the eating disorders, all of the plastic surgery, all of the unhealthy diets that are being done, all in the name of having the perfect body. To me, this is liberating and this is empowering.
Don't think about the words, it's just a book, paper and ink. She reaffirms, reminds herself a book can't dictate what to think. It invites, intrigues her more than others on her shelf. Is it just another book? She sits questioning herself. Oh Allah, she's so afraid to read. The wisdom that's revealed may burrow in her mind. She'll be obliged to admit, she'll be obliged.